Now, I always say, like, when I talk to Nego's always talking about girls, relationships, this, that, and the third. So obviously I haven't read the book, so I'm putting it out there. What within this book attributes to relationships? Is there anything in the book that talks about relationships?
There's a whole chapter on relationships within the book.
There's a whole chapter, okay.
You're really gonna spew this narrative again.
Man's acting like this narrative ain't been a narrative that's been spewed before.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Okay.
The chapter, so it's the only chapter in the book that doesn't go in depth into history, because the chapter's called After Love.
Wow.
And
jeez, say after. That sounds. Yeah, I like that title, bro.
The chapter's called After Love, and it's, again, I believe in legacy, man. I believe in what you leave behind, and the purpose in the chapter is to let you know that you'll be okay. Whenever it is that my kid does go through a breakup, or whoever's reading this goes through a breakup, you'll be okay after. And that's why there wasn't much history in it. There's a theme throughout my book. After every letter, there's a letter from a family member or friend that I know will be an auntie or uncle to my kid. At the end of the After Love is, you know, Israel. Israel?
No.
Backtrack.
I don't watch Heartache. I never watched it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Don't worry. But a friend of mine has a letter at the end where she breaks down like the 8 different types of love. And it's just me talking to my kid in the After Love chapter, letting them know. Because I think a lot of times when you go through something, especially when it's ridiculed with emotion, or when it's what's the right word?
Yeah, you're the poet, man. Unless you start getting my ghostwriting on, bruh. I can't help you.
When something's lined with emotions,
yeah,
it's easy for you to forget that it can end, that there's another chapter, that you'll be okay. Because I think what emotions do is they consume.
Facts.
Not to say you shouldn't feel, but they consume. The same with happiness. If you feel an extreme level of joy, you're gonna feel like, wow, maybe you've never felt this before. Wow, you don't feel like this can end. And the same is true for both extremes. If you feel broken, and you gotta understand, when you're consumed by emotions, which is what a lot of breakups do, regardless of the fact that when you look back and you look at logic, you'll be like, okay, you should have known you would have been okay, and you're an idiot for this, and whatever. It's difficult to tell that to someone in it, because the same emotion that consumed them to feel like they're going to love this person forever is the same one they got to deal with, that says this turmoil that you're feeling is not temporary. And I think sometimes people don't, I think a lot of times we focus on just, you know, the hugs or the whatever, rather than to be that reminder to someone that there's another side.
You know what's interesting about, conceptually, I've been thinking about that as that topic. But it was on, remember that tune by Mace? I want to see you, tell me what you want from me. Mace and Toto, back in the day. Yeah, there's a line, I want to see you happy even if you're not with me. Right?
Yeah.
And even breakups, I was thinking like, fam, like, that pain I felt in break, bro.
It's a burn.
Bro, and it still stings.
How long?
It takes, bro, like, I can't compute it, bro.
No, like, how long has it been?
I won't say on camera, but it's been this year.
Okay,
this year,
yeah, that's a burn.
It's a burn, bro.
That's a burn.
But it's a burn because it's like, you know, I think that whole thing of like, you know, like, do you know what it is? It's like holding on or letting go. Same hands, bro. Like, one is like, do I hold on? Do I let go? And then it's that whole thing of like, but after we let go, what does the love turn into? And sometimes people have to use the love and turn it into negativity and hate just to justify why we weren't together, or who moves on first, or like, am I going to see a picture of her on my Instagram with another guy? That will burn. I mean, do you get what I mean? So I think that whole chapter was something where I was like, yeah, I want to have a conversation about this same thing here. Like, you know, as a man, like, what do we, like, what's the emotions?
Some people see a breakup as a race.
Who says it first? Who moves on first?
Yeah. And I'm not of that cast anymore. When I was younger, I was, definitely. The moment it was over, I'd be pretending that I'm perfect. I've never been a public person in general, like socials. Like, don't get me wrong, I put out the music and I let you know exactly how I feel in the songs. But that's all you'll get. You'll never get a tweet. You'll never barely get a conversation. Unless it's from you, I'm saying this.
Shout out.
But I think rather the focus being on that, I feel like the only way to flip the narrative or to help other young people understand is if your priority is on the race to see who gets over who first, you're prioritizing the other person because your pace is still based on them. So your actions are based on them. Even the basics, your indirects are for them. You're trying to prove something to them. Even in your, I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone. That's why I'm going to show you I'm having fun. It's to them. And I'll be honest with you. Like in my last breakup.
Wait, I don't know. What's the timeline for that then?
Last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Yours is last year, mine's this year.
Yeah.
You've had a bit more time to heal than
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah. But in mine, I did something a bit unprecedented for myself anyway. But if I look back, it probably was still, she was still at the foundation. And what I did was I worked so hard. Like there wasn't a break. I didn't know what a break felt like. Every day writing, performing, recording. This year, 2018, I could probably attribute a lot of it to the breakup, if I'm completely honest. It's just, I guess, I use that energy to something more positive rather than to pretend I'm okay. Some people, when they go through breakups, you see people lose bare weight or they go gym heavy. You need something to replace that space in your brain, that space in your day.
Yeah, waking up, I ain't texting her. I don't see that gap, bro. It's that gap.
Burns, innit?
It burns.
Go and sleep and like, oh, should I ring?
Like,
it burns, but
yeah.
I think when I replaced it with, some people replace it with a new partner. Yeah. When you replace it with a craft or graft, you realize how much time you actually lost. Because, and don't get me wrong, one thing I'll never do with my ex, I'll never disrespect her in public, regardless of what happened in the breakup. I think.
Sorry, let me pause it. Sorry. Hypothetically, whose fault was it? Just hypothetically. Wait, did you want it to end?
Did I want it to end?
Who called it quits? I know we said
at the end I wanted it to end.
But she ushered.
She initiated the end at the beginning. Then, and it's gonna sound crazy, and I think a lot of guys go through this. I think the surprise caught me more than
that she's willing
wanting to stay. And I think I only realized that when, you do that fake, you're like where you sort of go back and like, you're trying to sort things out and you have the makeup, whatever, and the makeup sex, makeup convos, makeup laughs, dinner, whatever. And I'd sometimes just zone out and think, why am I still here? Like, why am I here? Like, what? Did I actually want to fight for this, or did the surprise just catch me off guard? Because it was like, I can't lie, the end was a surprise to me, even though she probably will never know because my reaction was so calm. Like, it was like, all right, cool. But in my head, I was like, what the flip just happened?
And you see that there, bro? This is something I'm going to add to that point. Sometimes, bro, you see, I'm not going to say women. I'm just going to say, let's take roles, right?
Yeah.
As a guy, fam, here's my thing. I'm in a space where I'm not in the most, let's say, you have good days and bad days, but you're working for yourself. You know how it goes, bro. Entrepreneur, this and that. The thing that I need is not that you stood by me, but that you're standing by me.